league. Eagles quarterback Nick Foles says he's been experiencing muscle spasms in his neck and shoulder area. He says it isn't considered serious at this point, and the team is just being cautious. But Foles isn't sure if he'll play in tomorrow's preseason opener against the Steelers. The man Foles is backing up. Carson Wentz has gone 8 straight practices without taking part in 11-on-11. Wentz will be watching from the sidelines tomorrow, and he may not take a snap at all this preseason. Still, he's focused on being ready for week 1 when it counts.
It's frustrating. Obviously getting the chance to get out there and everything. I felt great. It was fun to be out there, but again, just trusting what the doctors are saying. And without a doubt, it's tough to just sit there and watch. Did it all last offseason. Now kind of getting your feet wet, but kind of going in and out. It's not what I'd like, but it's, I'm making the most of it as we go here.
On the other side of this preseason tilt, Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown returning to training camp after missing the last 5 days with an undisclosed injury. Brown did take part in Tuesday's walkthrough, however. Head coach Mike Thomas says AB will return to the practice field after the preseason opener. Now, in preparation for the Packers preseason opener on Thursday against the Titans, quarterback Aaron Rodgers was trying to get in sync with some of his young receivers by running the scout team Tuesday in practice. Well, safe to say, he wasn't none too happy with the results.
It was one of the worst carded sessions we've had. I don't know how you can make it any simpler. You literally have what the play would be in our terminology on the card, and the effort level is very low. Especially what I'm accustomed to, having run that period for a number of years. So it's not a good start for us on the carded period for the young guys. I think Yancey has really progressed. Gmo, obviously 16, but everybody else was kind of piss poor.
And he was obviously grumpy about Jordy Nelson going to the Raiders. Grumpy about his contract situation. Either way, get that man a contract extension stat, okay, and everything.
Yeah, there's that on the line. Of course, he's talking about how he's grumpier and older. He wants another championship. He hasn't been there in quite a bit. Piss poor, though. I did not. Those are some words there from their quarterback. Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, Will Selva. We'll check in with you throughout the day here on Good Morning Football, leading into our coverage of Inside Training Camp that kicks off and takes over at 10 a.m. Eastern. So let's talk Dallas. Okay. They're kicking off the preseason tomorrow night on NFL Network, the late game after the Giants and the Browns play on NFL Network. And I feel like this offense is one big question mark because you lose Des Bryant, you lose kind of late in the offseason, Jason Witten. It was a bit of a surprise. The Cowboys hoping that they can answer those questions, maybe by shouldering all the load on one guy, Ezekiel Elliott. A lot of pressure on his shoulders in his third year in this league. So, guys, let's talk about some guys that you might think, or I want to talk about his numbers. Okay. Like, overall, what is he going to end up having? Because I feel like we might have a different view of what it's going to look like if they stack the box against him, if receivers don't step up. Right. So I'm going to throw out some names, and you guys tell me if you think Zeke will have more rushing yards than them. You guys ready?
Rushing yards, let's go.
All right, let us go with David Johnson.
Ooh. I'll say Zeke will have more. David Johnson's more of a receiver. He'll put up huge numbers, but rushing yards, Zeke, I think will have more.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Zeke will have slightly more rushing yards. David Johnson will have more yards from scrimmage, though.
I think Zeke has more. I think Zeke, they just rock with Zeke. 30 carries a game. Let's go. Let's ride him till the wheels come off.
I think there's better receivers surrounding David Johnson, so they're going to pass the ball a little bit more than Dak Prescott and those Cowboys.
Yesterday I said Le'Veon Bell should go #1 overall in fantasy. You said it should be Zeke Elliott. Will he end up with better numbers than last year's leading rusher, Kareem Hunt?
Better rushing numbers, yes. I'm going to stay with Zeke. I think this is going to be a throwback type season to the Ricky Williams, Stephen Davis, Eddie George type offenses. Zeke. I think, yes, he'll have better numbers than Kareem Hunt.
I say no. I feel like Kareem Hunt will. When you look at the young quarterback, of course, there's weapons surrounding this young quarterback, but if he starts the season off where he's inconsistent or even throwing interceptions, what's the first thing you do? You hit the reset button, you say, go ahead and hand it off to the guy behind you, and that's going to be Kareem Hunt.
This is no disrespect to Kareem Hunt. He led the league in rushing last year, but Ezekiel Elliott led the league in rushing 2 years ago. True. I think he's a 4th overall pick. Again, I feel like the offense this year in Dallas is going to be Zeke Elliott and then a bunch of other guys, so I'm going with Zeke.
Moving on here to Todd Gurley. Took the league by storm last year, got his deal redone, highly paid cat. Shraves, Todd Gurley.
I got Zeke having more yards than Todd Gurley.
More rushing yards.
I have Zeke having more rushing yards. I feel like when I look at that Rams offense, McVay's so creative, and they use all the receivers, and Kupp and Woods, and now Cooks, and who knows what we get out of Mike Thomas and Josh Reynolds. There's too many weapons. I don't see them riding 30 carries a game with Todd Gurley. I'm going with Zeke.
Yeah, I feel like if the defense coordinator wants to load the box versus these teams, they're going to force Dak Prescott and the unproven wide receivers to beat them in the air. If you do that up against Sean McVay and LA Rams, they'll beat you in there. They prove that they can beat you in there, which means they're going to open up a lot more opportunities for Todd Gurley, so I'm going with Todd Gurley.
With this last one, I borderline feel like it's disrespectful to compare
Katie, what'd you think?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke
So you don't answer? I'm sorry.
No, it's, I'm Linehan and Garrett, Kay. I'm riding Zeke. What do you got? Give me the last one.
Well, I was thinking while Nate was talking that I know what Nate's going to say about this next one, because I'm going to compare Zeke and stack him up against Saquon, and Saquon's never done anything on the field. But for some reason, I don't feel like it's disrespectful given where they took him in the draft.
Yeah, if you get him that high, you're using the hell out of him.
Or you can at least, I just feel like making the comparison between Zeke and any rookie is a little bit disrespectful.
No,
at least Nate would definitely say so.
I would say so, but I'm also contradicting myself because when Zeke got drafted, I said that he'd be the runner-up for MVP in the league.
Yeah.
And I was close. He led the league in rushing. So I like rookies, but I feel like the receivers on this team will be the anchor. I love Saquon, but it's going to be Odell, Sterling Shepard, tight end play, and Eli.
So Zeke.
Yes.
I feel like we're almost disrespecting Zeke. We keep saying he's going to have 30 carries a game. He doesn't need 30 carries a game. He's an incredibly good player that was under the radar last year.
I got a wild card.
What do you got?
I think Leonard Fournette might lead the league in rushing.
It's a great
call.
They got a
Great
better
call.
offensive line. They added weapons. I think Fournette might be the guy this year.
A lot of Jags love out of you
How about
today.
Jordan
I'm
Howard?
loving that.
How about him?
Jordan Howard.
Best receiving core he's had around him.
That
For the
only
first
hurts
time,
his
could
rushing
take the
yards.
pressure, could take the pressure off though.
A lot of top
Respect
running
Jordan
backs.
Howard.